Hello, my name is Jasmine Stewart. I'm going to be doing a quick overview of my technology-infused assessment module. First, what were my perceptions about teaching English language learners before taking this course? Before the semester started, I thought that teachers needed to speak the language of their ELL, that almost all ELLs are Spanish speakers, and that all content needed to be in their native language. What are my perceptions about teaching English language learners after taking this course? I have learned that teachers do not need to speak the language that their students speak. The best thing that a teacher can do is to build a great relationship and to have great resources. I also learned that ELLs are not limited to Spanish speakers. ELLs come from many different backgrounds. I also learned that while content does need to be in their native language, it is just as important to have content in their target language. What are some common misconceptions about teaching or about English language learners? Most ELLs come from illegal families. True or false? False. The thought that ELLs are illegal is a common misconception within the community because most people aren't educated on how bilingual programs work. Most ELLs come from a poor family. True or false? False. It is a common misconception that ELLs come from a poor family. People believe this misconception because they assume that if they cannot speak English, then they must not be able to afford to get a good education. Most ELLs are destined to fail. True or false? False. It is a misconception ELLs will struggle academically. The community automatically assumes that because a student does not speak English, then they will not be able to keep up with the curriculum. ELLs are only Spanish speakers. True or false? False. It is a misconception that ELLs they are only Spanish speakers. The ELL community is very diverse. ELLs have a lack of support. True or false? False. It is a misconception that ELLs have a lack of support. Most believe ELLs do not have parents who want them to learn English, but this could not be more different. 5 critical concepts I have learned this semester. Prejudice and discrimination affects ELL students negatively when people use their biased opinions to put all of the students and their culture into the same bubble. The role of culture is one of the biggest things to learn about your ELL student. All students come from different backgrounds, and it is important to respect their culture in the classroom. Fear of language loss. One of the linguistic challenges that ELLs face is the fear of losing their native language. Some ELLs will be the only English speakers in their household, and this scares not only them, but their families as well. Cooperative learning. Cooperative learning is one of the most important aspects to incorporate in the classroom for all students, but even more importantly for ELLs. Cooperative learning promotes social interaction in groups. Gardner's 8 types of intelligences. These help teachers to create differentiated lesson plans to support each student in the classroom. What are some of the do's and don'ts that teachers should keep in mind? Do always make it fun. Why? A teacher's main job is to teach their students, but making it fun is just as important. Do build relationships. Why? It is important to build relationships with your students so that students have the greatest chance to succeed. Do create a positive environment. Why? For students to succeed, they must feel safe and happy in their environment. Do use great resources. Why? To best support ELLs, the students need great resources to support their learning. Do get to know your families. Why? While teachers need to build relationships with their students, it is just as important to build relationships with their families. Do demonstrate activities and give examples. Why? For ELLs to fully understand what is expected of them, they must know what is to be done. The easiest way is to model what is to be done. Do use both passive and active learning in the classroom. Why? There needs to be a balance between passive learning and active learning to get them also retaining the information but also using hands-on activities. Don't lower your standards for ELLs. Why? Lowering your standards does not help ELLs to succeed in school. Don't group all ELLs together doing group work. Why? Groups should be made up of multiple students on multiple levels. Don't base your opinion on the word of others. Why? While your ELL may have had other teachers before you, you must not let their experience shape yours. You must assess and see where your student stands to best help them. The end.